And boy, oh boy, am I proud to be part of this company. We like to call it Alove. Actually, that's not how you pronounce it. It's Alovea. And I think it's the coolest, best brand on the planet, and it's something I hope you are all super proud to be part of it. I mean, think of it. Love is in the middle of our name. I mean, that's cool. We're changing people's lives by just literally helping them celebrate and with these incredible products. We have Buy One Nurse You, the only company on the planet that does this, where, yes, we've surpassed 30 million, but we just, remember, at the beginning of March, we wanted to blow past 30 million. We're way past it, 30,270,000. Like, this has been the best growth curve we've been on. So this is really, really exciting stuff. And today's call is a little different because the other thing that we're easily one of the best in the entire world with is we've got this most rich and rewarding compensation plan. So we have our CFO, Mr. Ben Platt, is going to come on and actually talk to us as social business partners, how powerful our plan is, and give you some great advice around that. And it's going to grow your confidence as a social business partner. So no matter who you're talking to, you can have the confidence saying, look, if you love everything else, I know you're also going to love this. And some people may even look at the compensation plan first, saying, look, if I'm going to spend my time, I need to know that the compensation is going to be in alignment with the work. And that we can absolutely prove that. I can still tell you today, I don't know everything about the compensation plan. Ben, our CFO, will actually prove that model. He knows that I don't know everything about the compensation plan, but you don't have to, because you have the confidence that there's people like Ben and the whole team behind it that is making this thing work and work beautifully in alignment with rewarding us to go make an impact and share this with folks. If you are brand new, my wife and I are global Hope ambassadors here with the company. We're just super proud to be part of this company and what it means and what we get to do. We live up here in the Blue Ridge Mountains, so you can kind of see there's our backyard. And the company, when we talk about rewarding people, is actually doing something right now where a campaign where you can win an experience and come spend time with Ann and I, with our CEO, President, Mr. Sam Castor, with Ben Platt, with Paige White, with Linda, with the whole executive team and all the other great leaders where, above and beyond the financial awards, they do a lot of Club Vea experience awards, and the ability to come up here and hang out with us in these Blue Ridge Mountains of Western North Carolina, I think is one of the most exciting additional benefits of being part of this company. This is a call we do every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central, 11 o'clock Eastern time. And the purpose of this call each week is welcoming all of our new social business partners. We've had so many in the last few weeks. So if you're brand new, I already saw a bunch of people say hi and they're brand new. If you're brand new, a big shout out to you. Welcome to this community. Welcome to this family. The purpose of this call is great for the new person because we're going to help guide you on some of the key steps that you want to know about. As well, if you've been around for a long time, what we find most powerful about this, somebody asked, where can we learn more about the Blue Ridge promotion? So I'm going to share with that in just a moment. And look at that, guys. Our actual CEO, President, Mr. Sam Castor, is on. So one of the cool things is, so as a brand new social business partner, even if you've been around for a long time with us, plugging in every Saturday morning, to me, kind of kickstarts your week. You mentally are connected to Alabama. You get to be with the community. We have different people on different weeks of this call. You get to, I think also the Monday night call with our CEO President on Monday also helps that. But our week volume ends on a Friday night, so Saturday kickstarts the next week. So what a great way to kind of kickstart your week. I love that, Shirley, right there. This is something we do every week. So if you're brand new, you're going to experience this. But if you've been around, we do this every week. So, of course, we're on this, surpassed 30 million in serving. And Shirley just posted it in our chat room. We're now at 30,277,000. We went way above and beyond the 30 million mark, which was our goal in March. And if you haven't seen where you can actually track this, one of the things I'd love to do right now is let's celebrate what you've done, because every one of us on this call have helped create this ripple, and it ties into the compensation plan. So open up your app. You want to go to the bottom right corner where it says business. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. Just this little app where it says, there we go, business in the corner. And the top one, it will say, oh, my screen's so dark there, Hope Tracker. And if you open that Hope Tracker, the company tracks three things. It's going to track your own personal consumption. It's going to track what you've done, called your ripple. And the My Ripple is any of your customers and any of the social business partners and everything that it's done before. And then, of course, it's going to track the whole company's impact. So have fun with tracking this each week. And I love this. People are starting to post. They're opening up their apps and seeing their numbers. Like Nancy Ray, 1.3 million. How amazing is that? Cheryl's now over 110,000. Each week, if you're brand new or if you haven't set this goal, the company also sends out these really cool bracelets. You can see mine says Hope 10,000. Now, the company sends you this for free, and they're starting to do it every month. So anytime you get your Ripple past 10,000, so I'm looking at Ron Hart. Hopefully he's going to be receiving his really soon if he hasn't. They have one for 10,000, one for 100,000, and our CEO president just shared they're launching a new one, a really high quality one, for once you hit 1 million. And that's the way that the company celebrates us achieving these goals together. Look at this. There it is. We're at 30,277,000. Now, Ann and I have been here since the beginning, so our Ripple is all of you. We're all a big family, and so we got that big Ripple. But you know what the coolest thing is when it goes past 1,000, and then it goes up to 4,000, then it goes up to 7,000. Not that it jumps in that weird order, but it's the coolest thing ever to be part of that. And it is a symbol of knowing that you're actually creating a difference. You're creating a real impact. And the compensation plan, there's going to be volume generated below you, and you're going to generate some commissions because of the impact that you're having. But like everything, look at that. I love that. Dynamorian's like, it's just so cool to look at. It's over 357,000. Like it's a really cool feeling to be part of something, because we all could be doing something else on a Saturday morning. There's a lot of other ways to have a little side gig to try to earn extra income. But to be part of something that's actually meaningful, that's global, that you're changing the people's lives, that you can have the confidence because we've got the best products on the planet. You know, when you have all that, it becomes powerful. But very few have the whole tie-in with this. Nobody has the social business. So that is really, really, really cool. But we also want to know our compensation plan has this impact. So today, we're going to skip over what we kind of do some weeks, because this is going to be a bit of a special call, more specifically on the power of this compensation plan. And the company has this very special gentleman. Let me see if I'm bringing him on here. Here he is. His official title is Chief Fun Officer. And when he's not fun, he's looking at spreadsheets and numbers, and then we call him the Chief Financial Officer. You get both titles, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just the way it rolls. Well, actually, talking about a Chief Fun Officer, we are actually heading to Dallas here pretty soon. For anybody new and somebody just called you the flip-flop CFO.
I like it. I'll own that too.
You'll own that, yeah. Actually, that could be fun. Maybe we just have a whole bunch of like, what do we want to refer to Ben as the CFO? I think we could have a little bit of fun with that. Ben, you're on this call. So for those that haven't met Ben, Ben is CPA. He has his MBA. You probably have other letters. You're a BEN.
You get it
there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But very few people. Many of you may have CPAs or accountants that you work with. Ben also takes care of we're partners on a multitude of business, so we know each other very well. But there are very few people I've met like Ben that have this both the entrepreneurial understanding. So he deals with a lot of high net worth clients. Obviously has the business, the accounting and tax side, but he has this great entrepreneurial mind, creative mind. And I know one of the things that you love most, Ben, is you love social business, and so much to the point that you've even integrated into your entire CPA firm that you own down in St. Augustine. So for those that haven't met Ben, Mr. Ben Platt, and we're
Thanks for having me. Bless you.
Excellent. I had to mute quickly because I was like, perfect time to sneeze. I was like, quick, Ben, say something. All right, well, let's have fun with this today, Ben. We got a lot of people on. We're recording this. I mean, you know the power of our products and our mission and our purpose and all these things, but something we don't talk enough about, and I know you and I often talk about it, is the power of the fact that, man, people can make an extra income doing this, and not only an extra income, can make a lot of extra income. Maybe just touch on, before you dive into the power of our compensation plan, but you as a CPA, as an MBA, as a business entrepreneur, like, why do you believe in this industry, and why do you believe in Alabama, and especially the social business side?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me. And I love talking about that first topic because I have been involved in entrepreneurship for a lot of years. I've been involved in a lot of ventures. I've worked with lots of clients in entrepreneurship. That's exactly what our firm focuses on. That's how I got into the direct selling space with a client who was heavy into the industry. So what I love about it is the opportunity that is out there. And actually, like our income disclosure statement has this statement on it that I'll read to you in a minute, but it talks about, your earnings are based on the work that you put into it. And I love situations where you get out of it what you put into it. And I've always thought of people in this space as people who want a little bit more out of life, and they're willing to do something about it, right? And that last part is so important. Like, you got to be willing to do something about it. A month or so ago, I was talking with the Morgans group about this whole idea of beginning again. We all get in these routines where it's like, I haven't been focused on this or I haven't been focused on that. And you just got to stop and begin again. And that's the beauty of this business, is that you get out of it what you put into it, and you always have the opportunity to begin again or take it to the next level, whatever it is that you're doing. I've seen people in this space, literally make millions of dollars. Not everybody makes millions of dollars. I've seen people, lots and lots of people make, tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they're people just like us. They're people, everybody in the company. You don't have to be some savant when it comes to the compensation plan. You don't have to be, a doctor. You don't have to wear the white coat. You don't have to know it all. I mean, the beauty of Alavea is that we provide all those resources for you. And Craig, you're a perfect testament to the fact that the compensation plan works well, regardless of how well you know it, right? Like, whether you know the compensation plan well or not, as long as you do the activity, the compensation plan pays you. You don't have to check and see if it's paying you, right? It pays you. It's all algorithm based, it's all data based. We track everything that's going on in the company. We have these massive systems to be able to track all of that. And so if you go do the activity, or when you go do the activity, and then you help your team learn how to go do the activity, then everybody gets paid. And I always like to wear the hat of the CFO who loves to pay people. That is my favorite thing in life, is to pay and to have this compensation plan pay out. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys, all of the new folks that are on the call. You have stumbled into a gold mine, I like to say. This is a fantastic opportunity. The social business side of it is huge. Anytime that I get to work with a company that is not just trying to, but also trying to make the world better, I always like those opportunities. And I think nobody in the space is doing it better than Alavea. I think you said we have Sam on right now. Not only is he the CEO and the president, but he is the visionary behind the social business program. And the thing it does for the social business partners, for the people who are working this business, it gives you a very easy in. It's super easy to talk to people about, the fact that we're nourishing children all over the world. And, it is a good thing, but it's also a good marketing thing. And it makes that opening conversation easy. And so, again, that's one of the tools that we provide to help you run your business and grow your business. So, all right.
Well, hey, Ben, I just want to pause there for a quick second, because I think that, just to stay on that social business concept for a moment, because, like, for instance, you and I know this brand, and you and I both love this brand, company called 10 Tree, the shirt I'm wearing. They're a social business. Every shirt that sells, they plant 10 trees. 10 Tree, get it? And I was with some folks the other day. You've met them before, Terry and Tekla. So we're having this conversation, and they asked them, they said, we want to learn a little bit more about the health products you guys are involved with. And I said, well, we're a social business. And they said, well, what does that mean? And I said, I kind of used the Tom shoes example. They said, oh, is that like Bombast socks? Like, they're our favorite socks in the world. I took off my shoe and I sewed my Bombast socks, which I've got on actually right now. I can't make my foot go that high. But that's the power of, like, you're seeing people of all walks of life starting to learn and love, and they're choosing to put their dollars to companies that are making an impact. Not only great products, Bombast has great socks, but what they do is incredible. And I think that's something that, we can all continually be very, very proud of. And make sure that we do scream that from the rooftops, because if you have a choice to spend money here or there, that makes a difference. But Ben, why don't you go in, because I know a lot of people are excited to learn, just really around the belief and some of the critical things that people should know about the compensation plan. And I think do you have some slides you're going to share?
I do, yeah.
Can you share your screen? Did I set it up that way?
I think so. Let's see. Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. Excellent. Excited to hear about this.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'll dive into this. And yeah, I do, just to reiterate that. I mean, I think the social business side of this is just absolutely phenomenal. And it's great from a business perspective. It's one thing, you can have a side gig with any business, but to be able to do it with a business that is making a positive impact in the world, that's organized as the kind of business, a public benefit corporation, which is what we're organized as. So like, we're legally set up for the purpose of making a positive impact in addition to building a sustainable business. So that is a huge differentiator for us. And I think we're just finding more and more people that are attracted to what we stand for and who we are, good people, good compensation plan, incredible products, and just a fantastic mission. So yeah, I'll dive into this. And I like to start with it's funny, like people want to skip past the income disclaimer. I like to actually talk about the income disclaimer because I love this part down here that says success with Alivea results only from personal effort, hard work, dedication, and leadership. And truly, those are the things that are going to differentiate you in this business or anything that you do in life. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a get-rich because you do the hard work scheme. And it's not really a scheme. It's just a plan. So, I love the way that we've built this plan. It's very, very powerful. The plan is composed of these 8, and I'm going to refer a lot to the 2-page comp plan. If you guys haven't downloaded it, it's on the library. I'm going to refer to it a lot in this presentation, but I always like to start off by talking about what we did, right? So we pulled together the compensation plan from the MLM industry with social business as a business model, right? Because Tom Shoes is a social business model, but it doesn't have the compensation plan. The biggest impact you can make is limited by however many pairs of shoes you can buy, right? So it's a limited impact. When you combine it with the MLM model and the MLM compensation plan, you can have a massive impact. Craig may have bought a lot of Tom Shoes, but he hasn't nourished 30, or he hasn't put shoes on 30 million children. He's only been able to provide nourishment servings of 30 million because of the way that we built this program. And then, of course, having proprietary products that are impactful to people's life, that's the other element that makes this what I think is a best-in-class plan. And I've seen lots of plans in lots of different companies, both in the direct selling space, in the traditional business space, and we've refined this plan. Sam and I have spent hours and hours and hours, probably cumulatively weeks working on this plan to tweak it to what it is right now. And we just believe that we have the absolute best plan that can work for this space. So I'm not going to hit on all of these in this because it would be a very long training, but I'm going to hit on high level. I'm going to show you an example at the end, which I think is really important for the people who are getting started, or if you're not getting started and you've been in this, it's important for the people who you are getting started because leadership is such a big part of what we're doing here. The first thing I want to talk about in your back office in the reports home are your key stats. You need to have these 3 green check marks. Probably the number one problem that we have with people missing out on commissions is the fact that they are either not active themselves, they don't have 99 or 200 QV if they're 20K and above of personal volume, and so they're not active, and so they're missing out on some commissions, or they're not binary qualified, or they're not on FlexShip. So you need to have those 3 check marks in your back office, and I just want to I've worked through a couple of issues just this past week with some people who are leaders and they should know better, but they didn't have their green check marks and they missed out on some commission. So I want to make sure everybody knows about that. When you get started, or when people get started, we have these methods of paying bonuses on the front end. So this is the part of the reward that it goes along with getting people started on enrollment orders. So that terminology. And, people can start as a customer or they can start as a social business partner. We have the HOPE bonuses. And if you're not familiar with those, I'll talk about those here in a second. We have the customer acquisition bonus, or we call it a CAB. And both of those apply to the enrollment of a new person. So if you're a social business partner bringing on new people, you can get paid the HOPE bonus or the CAB, regardless of what type of customer your new enrollee is. And then on ongoing orders, if your new enrollee is a customer, then they're going to help you qualify for 123. You're going to get an ongoing customer retention bonus based on their volume, and there's going to be PV that goes into your pay team commission or your binary commission. And if the person that you brought on is a social business partner, then you're going to get the PV, a higher level of PV for your pay team commission. So there's generally a lot of questions about how do these bonuses work, based on enrollment versus ongoing. And I think that this slide just makes it really clear in terms of how those bonuses work. I told you I would refer to this 2-page comp plan guide, so you can go to library.alavea.com. You can download this. This is the absolute easiest way to teach anybody about the compensation plan. All of the elements of the plan are in here. I'm going to refer to this a few times throughout this presentation, but I wanted to bring this to your attention so that you can refer to it. Again, our job is to equip you guys to be able to go out and talk to people about Alavea as simply as possible. And so providing these kinds of tools is the best way that we know to do that. Right up here in the center of this, this is the number one way of getting paid. So this is the customer acquisition bonus, the retention bonus, and the enroller kit bonuses. And I'm just going to blow that up right here. Here's the enroller kit bonuses. So when you bring on somebody and they buy one of our starter kits, right? And you guys should know we have kits that are in 3 sizes. The 175 QV range, the 350 QV range, 700 QV. And QV essentially equates to the US dollar amount of those kits. And so we assign each of the kits, the QV, and then based on the size of that kit, you as the enroller are going to get $25, $50, or $100. So you just need to be active in order to earn that. And that is going to apply. So you either get the HOPE bonus or the customer acquisition bonus, whichever is higher. We always pay out the higher amount. In addition to that, the impact level, whoever the 2K, 5K, and 10K is above the person who just enrolled is also going to get $5 each or $10 each or $20 each. In a lot of cases, you are the 2K or you are the 5K or the 10K. So the 10Ks that are enrolling people, not only do they get the $25, they get each of these $5 bonuses too. So when you enroll somebody on a $175 kit, you're getting $40 on that. It's a very high payout. The customer acquisition bonus is based on these tiers, and I'll talk in a minute about how we change the calculation of this tier to work out even better for you guys. But based on what your QV volume is over the trailing 4 weeks, you can get paid 5%, 10%, 15, 20, 30, up to 40% of the QV that you can actually get paid in the customer acquisition bonus. So there's a very high incentive to increasing your customer volume. The more customer volume you have, the higher your CAB tier is that you're in, and the higher the bonuses that you can get paid out. In a lot of cases, we have people that are up here in this tier 5 and tier 4 range that are getting paid even more than what the HOPE bonus would be. So the HOPE bonus might pay out $25, but maybe they're getting $40 or $50, 40% of 175. I can't even do the math off the top of my head, but it's a bigger number than $25. And so that's what they're getting just because they've been able to accumulate a lot of customers, and those customers are reordering. So this is a really important thing to understand and know. If you go to the full compensation plan document, you'll see this that shows how what we call QVT4, so qualifying volume in the trailing 4 weeks. That's what that means. And we look at the current week, and this is what we changed recently, towards the end of last year, actually. We used to not be able to include the current week, but now we can include the current week. So the volume that you do this week counts towards your QVT4, and it counts towards what tier you're in addition to what was last week, the week before that, and the week before that. So we add all that up and we figure out what tier you're in, and then we pay out the percentage based on that tier. And again, just to make this super clear, whichever's higher. So if you have somebody that comes in and they bought a $175 kit, or you would get the higher of whatever the CAB tier is, or this $25 HOPE bonus. You don't get both. You get one or the other, but whichever's greater, that's the one that you get. And then if you also qualify for the upline bonuses, you get those too. So hopefully that's really clear. And again, if you think about this not in terms of knowing the plan, but in terms of what the activity is that gets you rewarded, it's pretty simple. The more people you enroll, the more bonuses you get. The more customers you have that are generating volume for you, the higher the tier is, the higher the percentage payout is. So you don't even have to know any of these details. All you need to know is you need lots of customers. And the more customers you have, the higher your volume is, the higher the tier is that you're going to get paid out in.
Hey, Ben, I want to pause there for a quick second because I think this is a great post that came in. And by the way, just for anybody that is new, what's great about Elevate is that we do have a huge customer base, and there's that ongoing ordering, and it supports the whole growth of the entire company and our mission of buy one, nourish two. So it's not just about trying to just put people in your downline. If people want to be a social business partner, let's sign them up as a social business partner, do what we all get to do, which is help build teams of teams of teams and make this global ripple and this global impact. But, if you have a friend that just love to celebrate every day and have their great way to kickstart their day with our incredible products, you can celebrate and reward them as a customer because the company rewards you so phenomenally well for that. And Ben, here's the point here. I love what Danny Morgan said. I love the fact that we have leaders in our team who've earned over hundreds of thousands, and we've got multiples in the millions, and still don't even really know or even care that much about our compensation plan. I think that's probably one of the funniest lines because this industry is known to so much celebrating, a fancy car and all these kind of material things. And we've got these people that have done really, really well as a social business partner, and it's very seldom. Like, we don't do a lot of trainings like this or talk about this often. We probably should do a better job with it, but I thought that was a pretty interesting statement.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the people that I've worked with in this industry and other industries, I mean, the people who make the money are the people who go do the activity, right? It's not the people who know everything that there is to know about the product, or everything that there is to know about the compensation plan. It's not just the knowledge, it's what you do with it, right? So it's going and doing the activity is what actually produces the results. So I agree with that. And I'm super proud that we have so many people who have, 100,000 career earnings and, $1 million career earnings in Elevate. I mean, I think it's absolutely perfect. So again, I'm going to refer back to the 2-page comp plan guide and talk about team builder. So, and actually on the second page of the comp plan guide is a really detailed explanation in pictures of how to achieve team builder. I'll touch on it here in a second, but why you want to be a team builder? Well, you want to be a team builder because when you achieve these ranks of 2K, 5K, and 10K, there's these big bonuses that you get paid, right? So $250, $500, and $1,000. And there's no, like you need to achieve the team builder status in your first 28 days. I'll talk about how you do that here in a second. But when you reach these ranks, you're going to earn these big bonuses. You could do that all in your first week. You could do it in your first month. You could do it in 3 months, But the point is that you set yourself up for success and maximizing the compensation plan by making sure that you're a team builder, and then each of the social business partners that you bring in is also a team builder. And you can see over here to the right that we created an additional incentive for helping you make sure that the people who you bring in that are social business partners become team builder, because you get paid $50 when you sponsor someone who becomes a team builder. So there's multiple benefits associated with team builder.
I love it, Ben. And this is every Saturday call. Usually the thing we would be doing is not this amount of detail, but that's what we talk on every single Saturday to all of our new social business partners. If there's 2 things we all want to focus on and become really good at for every new person joining and any new person you ever bring on, is set the intentions to get your bracelet and get your ripple over that 10,000, because I think it's just one of the coolest things to be able to wear and know what you're connected to. And then the second thing is become team builder. If everybody becomes that team builder, it's kind of like you're like, why wouldn't you become team builder? Because as you do grow whatever time or speed or whatever you do, you're giving up all that extra money. So, and it's the easiest thing to do it. So, Ben, I think this is a huge point to touch on.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it really sets you up for success, and it's replicable, right? I mean, that's a big part of the plan. A big part of this business is you want to do things that are replicable. and becoming a team builder is replicable. You can do it through your first purchase. You can buy a premier kit, 700 QV, bam, you're a team builder qualified. I mean, without a doubt, that is the 100% easiest way to become team builder qualified. But you can also do it these other ways. I mean, you can place a smaller order. You could enroll a couple of social business partners, a couple of customers. If all of that adds up to 700 QB, then, you're team builder qualified, and now you're eligible to earn those bonuses that we talked about. When you help your social business partners that you enrolled right here also become team builder qualified, then you get $50 for each one of them. So, we always build the plan to incentivize this type of replicable activity. Craig, one of the things that we've heard from a lot of people is that sometimes people enroll as customers, they get their product, they have this incredible product experience, and then they want to become a social business partner. Like, it happens a lot, right? They're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how good this was going to be. I enrolled as a customer. I want to be a social business partner. So we did build, and this slide maybe is coming across a little bit complicated, but I wanted to make sure that people understand that there's really two ways to become a team builder, right? So this option A is what we typically see, and most people on this call enrolled as a social business partner, and then within 28 days they accumulated 700, team builder QV. They either did that because they bought one of the big kits, or they enrolled a few other people, and it all added up to 700. That's how we all know that you can become team builder qualified. But to take into account the people who started as a customer and they placed that initial order, maybe they bought a reboot kit, that happens a lot. And then within a week or two, they had a great product experience and wanted to become a social business partner. We actually created this type of methodology for them to also become team builder qualified. So you can enroll as a customer, make your purchase, have that product experience, call the person who enrolled you and say, oh my gosh, I need to be a social business partner, upgrade to social business partner, which you can do right in your back office. And you can still use this purchase that you made as a customer to qualify with Team Builder, as long as you do it within 28 days of that initial purchase that you made. This was a big benefit for those people who came in as customers and then upgraded really quickly. So I want to make sure everybody is familiar with that and aware of that, because that's a big benefit. So this is the sponsor bonus. We talked about this already. So you as the sponsor, this is your social business partner enrollee. That person accumulates 700 QV. You get paid the $50. That again incentivizes you to do the thing that is replicable. So we've covered these two. So these are the 8 ways to earn. Again, I'm referring to this 2-page comp plan: CAB, CRB, enroller bonuses, the team builder bonus. Now right here, we have the 1, 2 free, right? So let's talk about that for a second, because this is the absolute best way to maximize free product. And really, this is a high value reward. As a social business partner, you want enough product to be able to personally consume. You also want to have some free product that you can use to sample and give out to people. And so the way that our top social business partners do that is by bringing on customers. So in this example, here you are, and you bring on these 4 customers. As long as you have 3, you qualify, as long as they're placing at least a $50 order. So what happens is we add up all your customer orders, we divide it by 3, and that's the amount of auto ship discount that you can get. So in this example, your customers had $450 of orders. We divide it by 3, that's $150. Your auto ship actually gets discounted automatically by that $150. So you can place a $300 order and only have to pay $150 for it. It's the best way for you to get free product that you can use in your business. You definitely don't want to miss out on that. Okay, so now we've covered these top 3. What I want to do is kind of transition a little bit. So the bottom, I'll talk about the bottom 5 options here a little bit more in a minute, but I just wanted to focus on the importance of getting started right, because there's a lot of new people on this call. You want to get started right. You want to get your team started right. So you want to get them focused on the enrollment bonuses. You want to get them focused on the HOPE bonus, the customer acquisition bonus, and have them focused on becoming a team builder and the team builder sponsor bonuses and the impact level bonuses that come along with that, and then maximizing the 1, 2 free plan. This plan has lots of other elements in it. We've built it for people at every level, but we've got to focus on those first 3 and getting everybody started right and understanding those first 3 and how they do those and do those well. Once we get to the point where we're replicating that, then you're building a team, and the rest of the compensation plan starts to kick in a bit more. I'm actually going to skip down to this slide right here. is the way that we think about this plan. So when we look at the whole plan, we design the plan to help you build, manage, lead, and grow your business. Okay. So let's break that down a little bit. So the building side of it has to do with the bonuses that we've covered this morning: customer acquisition bonus, customer retention, and enroller bonuses. The 1, 2, free, right? You're building a customer base here. You're bringing in social business partners who can help you start to build your team. You're doing it in this team builder type of platform. The team builder incentivizes you to build in the correct kind of structure. So that's how you build your business, and that's the thing that can replicate in every social business partner that you bring in. Then you start transitioning into managing your business and leading your team. And this structure that you've created is what grows your business, right? So it's being able to do the things that replicate and duplicate in a way that will grow your business. So these bonuses down here, which Craig, I think we should do another comp plan training session that's more advanced one to get into these. But the lifestyle bonus is a monthly bonus that you earn as you reach different impact levels. And the higher your impact level is, the more you earn. Experiences, these are trips. Obviously in the COVID environment, this has been a bit limited, but in the future, as things loosen up, we're going to be doing more of these experiences. The Bear Lake trip is a great example of an experience that you can achieve by achieving 40K or earning the right number of points. So we'll be talking more about that, but we've done incredible experiences. You know, we've taken groups to Mexico, we've taken them to Ireland, we've taken them to, I don't know, Bear Lake, Lake Tahoe, Whistler up in Canada, like just absolutely incredible experiences with great groups of people, and then a bunch of the people from the company too. So you get to have those kinds of experiences that are very unique. The pay team bonus is the binary bonus. So there's like a matching bonus that gets paid. So what you're going to find when you start building your team is that everybody who's placing orders, all of those orders have PV associated with them, point volume. So that PV, we pay commissions based on that PV. So the more PV you're accumulating, and you're going to have these two legs that you'll be learning about, the more PV that you're accumulating in these two legs, the more your pay team bonus is going to be. And as you increase in rank, you're going to be able to start earning the personal check match and the generational check match. And the higher in the impact level or the rank that you go, the higher the payouts are in the personal check match and the generational check match. So those are let's call them advanced courses in the compensation plan. And I think we should do another call to cover those specifically, just to make sure that there's a lot of clarity around it. But the last thing I wanted to do, Craig, was touch on just a quick example, right? So this is a real world example, something that we see quite often for a new social business partner who comes into the business and gets started right, okay? So in this example, this person started with a large product kit, 700 QV. So what does that mean? Well, that means that they're immediately team builder qualified, right? So they're right off the bat, they're team builder qualified, they're eligible to earn the team builder sponsor bonus, they're eligible to earn the team builder impact level bonuses. And then they launched 3 customers with a small kit, 175 QV, and they launched 2 social business partners with a large product kit, right? So this is the ideal way to launch people. So what are they going to earn? So they're going to earn enroller bonuses that's the hope bonus for the customers that they enrolled on the smaller kits, $25 times 3, that's $75. They're going to earn $100 on the large kits that were sold to the social business partners. So $100 times 2, that's $200. So they're also now qualified for 1, 2 free because they have these 3 customers. And if those 3 customers put those kits on auto ship, 175 divided by 3, or 175 times 3 divided by 3 gives you a 175 benefit on 1, 2 free. They're also going to earn the $50 sponsor bonus for the fact that their 2 social business partners are now team builder qualified. So that's 50 times 2 is $100. They're now, if you add up all these points, you'll find that they're also qualifying at the 2K level. So this is the 2K impact level, $250 one-time bonus for achieving that 2K impact level. And then in addition to all of that, they're going to start earning this pay team bonus because now they've got 2 social business partners. They've started their 2 legs in the pay team bonus, and they're going to earn $35 from that. So in this example, this person came in, they spent $700, and they're earning commissions of $835. Everybody wants to know, how do I get my money back? How do I make this a risk-free opportunity? I don't know that we can ever guarantee a risk-free opportunity, but if you do what's on the screen here, you're going to earn your money back. You're going to be set up to be earning 1, 2 free for the long run. You're going to be set up to be earning the pay team bonus for the long run. And you're going to be set up to grow into those next impact levels to earn even higher, the $500 and the $1,000 team builder impact level bonuses. So this is a really good example, what we see a lot happen, of how to set yourself up for success and then teach your team how to set themselves up for success. And I think this is the kind of thing that we want to see people replicate. Obviously, you can substitute, which size product kits and whatnot are in here. But this is exactly the type of thing that I think people need to understand, because this is how you start to build and grow your business.
Hey, Ben, I think this is great. What's that?
I said that's what I've got today. But if there's some questions out there that we want to address, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, let's answer a couple of these questions. And I love the fact that, Dottie's saying this exact same thing, she said, we just got our new social business partner on our team, came in with a team builder, signed up 2 social business partners this week with team builder, and we'll have all of her initial investment back in the week. That's pretty cool. That's a powerful story. We do have some questions. Let me go back up to the top, a couple of them here. If a customer switches to a social business partner after their initial 28 days of being a customer, like it took a couple months to notice the benefits of the product, so they still have 28 days.
They do. Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of this, is that what we were trying to do was fix the situation where somebody upgrades to a social business partner very soon after enrolling as a customer. But certainly if somebody enrolls as a customer and then a few months later they upgrade to a social business partner, they still have 28 days to become team builder qualified after that upgrade to social business partner. So that remains as well.
Okay, perfect. Yes, the recording's being posted. We're going to put that in the app and look for the social media Facebook groups to let you know when that is back in there. Somebody said Mexico was incredible. It was incredible. That's actually Juliana. That's one of my favorite lines of any video ever, is when she's in Mexico with the orphanages that we looked at, and she just has that great line. She's like, oh my God, we're doing good work. It's so true. Great job on that. Somebody says here, I was under the impression that a qualified customer dropped from $50 to $40. Am I correct?
I'd have to look that up again. We have $50 in the comp plan, but I'd have to look at the code itself. It may be $40 at this point, because I think we were looking at some rounding issues that were going on there. So it may be $40. We can update that on the next call.
Okay. This is I don't know, question for Ben. Since Elevate is a buy one, nourish two, can I take a number of how many children I am nourishing and divide that by 2 to have a snapshot of my TRB per month? I don't know if it works that way.
No, you can't look at the servings aren't connected to the QV, so that's not really going to give you a good idea of what your customer retention bonus tier is. But yeah, it's in the back.
I think what is nice, and this is why we always talk about, and that's the first time I've ever heard you kind of build it into that model of, like, there's 2 phases, the building model and then the manage, learn, and grow model. And I think what's cool about that is we often talk about this concept of ranking up with hope, and as we, and why that's important. And as you do rank up, one of the things that it's doing is obviously showing an impact of the growth of the volume you're generating. And there's a consistency of the kind of volume and income earning that somebody's making at each rank. But probably one of the coolest things too is that each one of those ranks, it also is set how many kids you're nourishing on a daily basis. So, I love to talk to people who are saying, look, my number one goal is more linked to nourishing children, nourishing other people, than it is on the financial side. I'm not as committed that way. Well, then great, get to the highest rank possible, because, and we even
one of the things I love about the 2-page comp plan too, is that as you're increasing in these impact levels, your rank, you can see here how many children you're nourishing per month. Right. So that's one of the things that we absolutely included in this 2-page cheat sheet, if you will, because we want everybody to be connected. And if you look at the impact, levels, there's a connection to that as well. So, every time you increase in the impact level, your team, you are responsible. You and the team that you've built now are responsible for nourishing, at 80K, 1,000 children a month. Right. That's pretty amazing.
Oh, I think it's the coolest thing. And Ben, you know, a lot of people have asked where that is, and you directed them to the website. You can go to library.alavea.com. But here's the cool thing too, and we, Will and I have been doing a lot of trainings on our app. We're going to do more app trainings. But this app, considering it's free and it just comes with what we do, that whole program right there is right in your app itself. So you can just click on that. You can look at it right there on the app. But what's really cool about this as well is you can actually share it with people. So say if Ben just started, I could go to Ben here, and I could just text this right to him. So if he's a new social business partner, I can use this tool and say, so I'm going to send this over right now. So imagine Ben just joined. Ben, you got your phone with you there?
I do.
It's probably going to pop up on your screen. So go ahead and hit that link.
Yeah.
So imagine I just partnered with Ben, and look at that. Ben has just reviewed this PDF. So now, son, rather than just finding the link randomly, Ben's got it now. So you can use this app not just on the recruiting side and the acknowledging side, but you can also use it for new team members and help showing them like where everything is. Now, all of a sudden, Ben introduces this to Ann, and what do you think he's probably going to do when she's like, oh, I'd like to learn more about the compensation plan? Or he could just say, hey, just welcome to the team. I want to send you this PDF. You can learn a little bit more, or maybe it's a video. But that app is just super powerful.
It is.
For those that didn't know that.
Yeah, and it just goes right into that same line of thinking or talking that we were saying earlier. How do you replicate? How do you duplicate? How do you do things that are scalable, right? And I think in order to be the most successful social business partner that you can be, that's the way that you have to be thinking. How do we take the technology? How do we take the tools that Alavea has built for us and scale that? How do I point people to the answer instead of telling them the answer, right? And that's why we put all of this in the app. That's why we put all of this in the library. We're trying to help you be able to do that.
Yeah, that was under Impact Your Business. Sarah asked which label the app was that under. That's actually under Impact Your Business. And where the recording will go is at is underneath the app training and other training videos. So look for that. I will say this to everybody as we get ready to wrap up, because we're going to do a follow-up to this. We're going to do, because Ben, I think that'd be really cool to do a follow-up, answer any questions that people do have. But the other big thing is we're finishing up March. We launched this big campaign, and it was called March to 30 million and beyond. We're obviously way beyond, but we're matching the donation for every single time we send out a video using the app and somebody watches the full video, the company's matching that donation. In the beginning of the month, there was a company that actually jumped in and said, we're going to double match it. And that was your company, Ben. That was your company, your accounting firm, which is really cool for the first 10 days of the month. So we want to finish this month super strong. Again, our last 4 weeks, we are way ahead of where we were 4 weeks ago. So big congratulations to everybody. That's the growth that we're looking for. It creates fun. It creates excitement. We're telling people all the love that we've got with Alavea and starting the conversation. And that's what we always talk about, Ann and I, each week, is it's this opening funnel. The more people we're putting into it, the more great things happen. And so let's use these last 3 days to really blow up that world of letting people know all the great things we've got going on, the celebrating and the impact that we have. So challenge yourself to say, what can I do in the next 3 days to finish off, or I guess 4 days, right? March is 31 days.
It does.
Yeah. That's why Ben and Ann never let me involved with things with the numbers. Makes sense. 4 days. We got 4 days to do this and have fun with it. Set a goal, be consistent. Maybe it's 10 a day. Maybe it's 15 a day. Maybe it's 5 a day. Maybe it's 2 a day. But be consistent for the next 4 days. Have fun with it. Start that conversation with a whole bunch of people. And then anybody that you've sent throughout the month, this is a great time to start following up with letting them know what a great month it's been. Thank them for watching the video. Send them a link on how they can get started on a sample, or even get started with you as a social business partner. So have fun with that app. Let's go strong over these next 4 days. And let's join us. Ben, our CEO, Mr. Sam Kassler, just got back from Mexico last week, and he's going to update everybody this Monday night. So join us at 7:30 Central Time. And let's do it. Ben, thank you so much. I think people are loving it. I'm seeing everybody saying thank you so much for this great training. So we will post an announcement when we do the next one, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Let's go send those videos. Cheers. Bye-bye.